Langenberg here with Leadership Resources for Accelerate, and today I am so excited to be joined by Justin Wiley. Now, Justin is a senior marketing major at the University of Nebraska in Lincoln, and he also happens to be an intern in the Accelerate office.
Lucky me.
Lucky, that's right, lucky you. Now, just last week, Justin and I were talking a little bit about some of his experience serving as a strengths coach at UNL's College of Business. And he had some really interesting insights and experiences to share. And so I asked him to sit down with us today and talk to us a little bit about that. So welcome, Justin.
Thanks for having me.
Awesome.
I'm excited.
So tell me a little bit about, first of all, how did you get engaged as a strengths coach for the College of Business?
Yeah, well, the executive director of the Institute, Mark Pogue, actually encouraged me to apply 30 minutes before the application deadline had hit. So I actually applied right away and then got in.
Okay,
So,
very cool. So what exactly, for those of us, I went to UNL, but a little bit before your time, I think. And
Only a
so
little bit.
for those of us who aren't familiar with the strengths program and the coaching program at CBA, talk a little bit about what that looks like.
Right. So we're assigned sections. So basically for every section there are 5 coaches, and each coach, they can have anywhere from 9 to 11. The goal is 10 students per coach. And we meet with them throughout 8 times throughout the first 8 weeks of the school year. So every freshman in the College of Business will take this class. So once a week we'll have them in a class of 50. So we have 50 students with 5 coaches. And then throughout that 8-week process, each coach meets with their students twice throughout that 8-week span. Those one-on-one coaching sessions can last anywhere from like 30 minutes to 2 or 3 hours, depending on how the conversation's going. So
very cool. So you're engaging with students in both a large group and then in that one-on-one capacity.
Right.
Very cool for you.
Oh, it's fun. Yeah, I loved it. So.
What was the most rewarding part of that process for you?
Yeah, there was so much that was rewarding. I'd say the first thing is that it's really mutually beneficial for the coach and the student, because I'm coaching you as a freshman and, teaching you about your strengths and whatnot, but I'm also growing as I'm coaching you. Yeah. So we both had the opportunity to learn and grow from one another, which was great. You also develop these deeper personal relationships that really matter. For example, a kid named Noah I had in my group still texting me, just, "Hey, Justin, how you doing? What do you think about the Scott Frost hire?" Just stuff that isn't even related to the coaching, but clearly that relationship was established. And I'm sure that'll grow as the years come. And so, yeah, meaningful relationships come out of that as well.
Very cool. That last or extend even beyond the time that you were working with them in a coaching capacity. Very cool. Good for you. Good for you. Well, I'm curious, obviously we hear a lot about the challenges of managing or leading millennials in the workplace. It's something I hear from a number of my clients of different generations that's a challenge. I'm curious, you're a young millennial. You've coached young millennials. What do you think about all that?
Well, millennials are it's a difficult generation to grasp in the workplace, I think, because millennials are looking to be independent, self-starters. They're wanting to, be in charge of their own schedule. They're looking for a leader, a motivator, a boss who encourages them to grow and make an impact. But also in a sense, wanting security, wanting the best job ever, without much guidance or micromanaging. So it's very difficult to get millennials in a place where they do feel like they're independent and can grow, while also being under someone, Yeah. And so I found that in my coaching sessions with those millennials who really are trying to make a big impact but don't know how, giving them guidance and helping them visualize where to start has been super meaningful. Even the work I'm doing here with my boss, he does an incredible job of giving me the freedom and independence to make mistakes and to grow, but then again helping me overcome challenges and obstacles. And that's been a really good balance that he's owned, but I think bosses are going to have to find a way to find the balance of the two as millennials enter the workforce. So
very cool. Yeah, there was something that Justin shared with me last week, and he sort of said it here, but it really spoke to me. Was the idea that we want to conquer the world, we just don't know how.
Right.
And so it's that where do I start? So I'm curious, when you think about that and you think about the work you've done coaching millennials at the College of Business, what role does coaching play in a millennial workforce from your perspective?
Everyone needs a coach. Coming from an athletic background, I did speech and debate as well. in both activities where I found myself thriving in high school, I had a coach, I had mentors, I had peers that had done it before. Same thing now as I've entered the workforce. I started working in business freshman year of college, and every year I've had a peer or a coach who's given me guidance, who's given me advice. And this goes beyond millennials too. Everyone needs a coach. It's like trying to become a better football player or becoming better at playing the trumpet without a coach helping you. And I'd say if there's ever an opportunity where you can find a coach in a professional setting, you should, because it's going to provide a great return that you didn't even think would happen. So. Yeah. Nice.
So I know earlier you said that it was a pretty mutually beneficial experience, that the people that you were working with appreciated the opportunity to work with a coach, but also that you learned a lot.
I did.
I'm curious, what was your biggest takeaway, your biggest learning as a coach?
Right. Well, I learned that people are wired very differently. I'm naturally not a very patient person either, and so that was tested as I was coaching people throughout an 8-week span. But I would say that whether it was students who didn't get their assignments turned in on time right away, my initial reaction was just, I would have gotten it done, so why didn't you? Like, what's wrong with you? Right. But in reality, we're all just wired very differently, and understanding that, having the capability to tap into that and maximize and leverage what people are already great at, that's an area that I really grew in and didn't even find myself thinking about those things until I became a coach.
Yeah. Yeah, that's very cool. I know that's oftentimes one of the biggest takeaways. I know you're working with students. I tend to work with leaders of all ages and in a lot of different types of roles. But one of the biggest takeaways is sometimes when we really think about the way we're individually wired, we all have this tendency to think that when people are performing up to their highest capacity, when they're performing at the highest level, that they are thinking and working just like we do.
Right. And that's not it. Yeah.
There's no right and wrong, me good, you bad. We're just different, right?
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very cool. Now, as you prepare for graduation in the spring, I'm curious what you're looking for in a job, in a company, but also in a leader.
Right. Well, company-wise, fit-wise, I'm looking for, I'm always looking for a role that I can take pride in, that I can find significance in. This, what I'm doing matters. I need that sense of purpose in the work that I'm doing. I'm also looking for an organization in which I have the ability to grow, so I can go and achieve more instead of just punching a time clock and working somewhere for 20 years. I'm looking to make high impact quick. In a leader, I'm looking for someone who's going to provide that for me. I'm not looking for, and I could probably speak on behalf of most millennials, I'm not looking to be micromanaged, right? I'm not looking for someone to tell me this is what you're going to do every day for how many years. I'm looking for a leader who wants to tap into my potential and make that a reality, and who will lead me instead of manage me. And that's someone that I could get behind regardless of where I'm working and what I'm doing. So.
Nice. Very cool. Well, hey, I certainly appreciate you being here. I can tell you said you're looking for an opportunity to make a difference, and I know you've certainly made a difference for the Accelerate team. But also one of the biggest lessons I think that I've learned, both over the years as a leader, but also as a coach, is there's so much value in considering a perspective other than our own.
Right.
And so I'm so happy that you were here today to share some of your perspective with us.
Awesome.
All right. Well, hey, if you like this video, I will encourage you to like and follow the Accelerate Facebook page, and also considering clicking the button to sign up for a demo and learn a little bit more about how Accelerate can help you set good goals and accomplish them in 2018. Thanks, guys. We will talk to you soon.